All right, I am back. It's been a while. I had to take a break. I think I haven't released a reading. I released one. One sec, I'm connecting my camera. Hold up. It looks really dark. Oh, there's a cat behind me. Oh, mysterious. Mika, what do you say? What do you have to say about this reading, Mika? Mika? Mika, someone's paid a lot of money for this. What's your assessment, Mika? What? Say that again. Mika? One more okay, that's it, Mika? All right. So she said a few things that I translate to human. I need to discuss this one more time. Okay, now all the potential technical issues should be gone. Let's double sound check because you never. Okay, that's definitely working. That's definitely working. Okay, we are good. So welcome to a reading by Jesse Inisan or Inizon. Start the timer. So basically, let's get down to business. I have your chart here, but I have not hidden your last name. So I must do this. I must do this. Esmond, stop. There's going to be many cats, just so you know, but I'll be sharing the screen a lot of the time. I go back and forth between face and screen. Actually, fuck it. Let's show the screen for a little bit. Sometimes I do the entire reading on screen. Depends how I feel. Okay, well, obviously a lot going on here, but we have to go to none. So, a fellow Leo rising. Always good to meet new Leo risings. And a Gemini moon with their sun in Libra. Very close, pretty close to the IC, close to the South Node. Spica is at 24, so it's not a Spica sun. What's some Scorpio 4th house energy going on? Ooh, get some 5th house outers, and yet that Mars, exact same degree of Mars, might I add, as yours truly, 6-degree Aquarius. So there you go. And then that nice Jupiter in the 8th in Pisces. Speaking to your spirituality in that North Node, which we're going towards, conjunct the midheaven. Wow. In Aries. Ooh, clues are already flooding into my brain, mind. And then the 11th house, we got Chiron and Black Lilith with the moon. Separated though. All right, very basically, what's going on here with sun and moon? Let's not overlook what is quote unquote basic, yet extremely, extremely important. I don't go into sun signs because I hope you know what it means to be a Libra. With that said, I will speak about different things about Libra, but I'm not going to explain the whole profile of it. Now, I must say that Libra and Gemini are both air signs, even though, yeah, it's 27, so that's not. I read 29 from the side of my eye, so good thing I didn't. Good thing I actually looked at it. Yeah, so basically, when you have an air in Gemini, right? Moon in Gemini, and let's pull this up. There tends to be, and you have lots of air in your chart, I can see already. fire ascendant, and you have some water, but no earth. So you see here, earth is very low in that bar. So not only is there very little earth, there's very few earth houses, 2, 6, 10. So we'll talk about that. But basically, so yeah, the relationship between the Libra and the Gemini is a very good relationship. It's one, it's an elemental trine. They don't trine each other by degree, but they do trine each other by their element, air. So in essence, it's kind of like the energy of if your sun and your moon represented two parts of yourself that were I guess you could say like two different captains to the ship that is you, they would be going in a very similar direction. Now, what I will say about just Libras in general, having your South Node in the same sign as your Sun, it means that there is a lot of been there, done that with respect to that Libra part of you. And the fact that it's conjunct the IC furthers that even more. Now, the vibes I'm getting right off the bat are that you are really meant to be a badass in this lifetime in terms of your career, and in terms of like being, even though you're a female, being more masculine and being very, very, what's the wordy? Very like, not picky, but like just choosing correctly when it comes to your relationships. Let's just call it like that. Because in past lives, Libra South Node conjunct the IC, let's see, is there square? Okay, where's Venus? Right here. Okay. Well, I guess it's like nearly exact semi-sextile, but basically you've been someone who has given too much of yourself. I'm just going to say it. You've given too much of yourself in relationships, and that has pushed away your growth, which is Aries, right? Aries is individual growth, let's call it that. So with this, in this lifetime, you're meant to really look at how you people please and how you have your own back and how you, in a sense, make boundaries and keep boundaries with people in your life. Many Libras struggle with this exact thing. So it's very important for you to understand that and to lean into your Aries North Node. Remember, North Node is kind of the mountain, the metaphoric mountain that you're meant to climb in this lifetime to get to your highest potential soul growth. So it's in Aries on the midheaven, which midheaven is the highest part of your chart, which rules the career and whatnot, and your dharma, what you're supposed to do on an outer like world perspective. And yeah, like, it's very key for you to 1 second. It's very key for you to not get stuck in kind of toxic relationships, and very key for you to look at whatever relationships you're in and always ask the question, how much is this contributing or taking away from me and my independence, my sovereignty, my individualism? As an Aries North Node, you come into this lifetime as someone who, in a sense, had that held back in past lives. You entered relationships that kept you stuck in the home and kept you stuck away from defining your personality and yourself. And it limited you a lot, right? I see conjunct South Node in Libra with Sun. So you're challenged in this lifetime because you also have, that Libra Sun, right? You are a Libra. So it comes very naturally to be relationship. balance, balance, balance. Like, even if if the Libra battle is like leaning into Aries, where Aries is like, I don't give a shit. Like, Aries is energy of like, just, I'm gonna do it. Like, it's just doing it. Not, and while Libra can be very indecisive, Aries is very decisive, and it gets to the point, and it has its own back, and it's almost like asking you to be a little bit selfish, in the sense of, not selfish in the really bad sense, but selfish in the sense of like, don't like, okay, like, Libras, like, if there's something like bad, like what they see as an imbalance in whatever situation they're in, they will put themselves down just for the balance to be retained. So your chart is asking you to lean into those moments or those situations or those relationships, and face it, and take a decisive action when needed. Now, also, your chart is asking you, it's saying that there is a tendency for you to be very close to home. In this lifetime, you're meant to, like, go out in the world and be a pioneer, Aries pioneer, first sign, be assertive, be a leader, in whatever you choose to do. Now, the moon in Gemini will be very nice because it will add a lot of curiosity. Now, it is opposite Saturn though, which is difficult. The moon opposite Saturn in any sign and you're born in 86, so you've gone through your Saturn return. So it's not like, that crazy, but what it will do is that it can make depression, and lots of emotional obstacles to you kind of arriving to where you want to arrive to on an emotional level, and lots of emotional restrictions, probably issues around the mother. Maybe she was rather cold, and yeah, it's overall, it can really inhibit vulnerability and true deep emotional expression. So you gotta watch out for that one. Um, I'll stop saying soon, maybe. Aside from that, uh, the goal with that opposition is to make you more responsible. So as a Gemini moon, you will be innately responsible, or innate. Excuse me. With Gemini moon, there's it's not a very responsible moon sign. It's very curious. It's very like, it wants to experience things. It wants to like, it's that butterfly, social butterfly energy. So there's a need for you to communicate with the people around you, and whoever it might be in the 11th house. There's a big attachment to your goals and your aspirations. So you really need to understand that and move into a place where you have very authentic and also deep connections with people, but also where you're really like connecting with people from all walks of life. But then your main squeezes, per se, there's a level of depth there, with Mercury ruling your 11th house in Scorpio. And I think that, your mind is a very deep and probing one. And it's one that, conjunct Venus, and retrograde Venus, wow. You like to go beneath the information, like within the depths. You have a mind that wants to search for answers that others might be afraid, confront areas of life that might be very difficult for others to confront. And it's a strong placement. And when you add the fact that, let's see, Venus is right there and it's retrograde, regardless of whether it's retrograde or not, it's going to make you definitely someone who can speak in a very smooth way that puts people at ease, even though what you like to talk about and how you like to think can be quite dark and quite esoteric, quite occult oriented. You don't like surface level stuff on one side, but then the Gemini moon gives you an emotional need for that very thing, not surface level necessarily, right? But higher Gemini energy, which is like the low is like, how's your day? Oh my God, that person, gossip, blah, 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 blah. The high is like that genuine genius. Like, I want to just discover this and that and this and that and this and that, and just meet this person, hear what they have to say, hear what Jesse has to say, maybe hear what someone else has to say about me. Always learning, media, whether it's reading, whether it's speaking. There's such an emotional need for you to explore life, and it's been so held back in past lives. So I'm begging you, and I think you got to follow up. If you didn't, definitely get one, because we need to talk about this stuff, if you can, of course. But like, when this has been held back, you enter this life with this energy of like, I want to just go out and just experience so much. So if that's something you feel and something you've been shamed for, fuck that. Know that that's bullshit, and that you can do whatever you want. And you're here to really, really explore so much in life, and to meet so many different types of people. So with that said, Moon in Gemini is also very, it can get bored very easily in relationships, so you have to watch that. And like I said, with the Saturn, it can definitely, if there's unresolved wounds around the mother, there can be, lots of depression, but a lot of times the Saturn return takes that away, and then it becomes more of a superpower where you're kind of like, you become more of an emotionally responsible person, which is great. So let's go back to face cam. Oh, my hair just got way crazy. So with that said, being Sun in the third and Moon in the 11th, finding your tribe, finding the people you connect with on the deepest level is so important to you. There's an emotional need for it, in fact, and there's also an emotional need for, like, you're very, very aspirational, and any goals you have, like, you have to take them super seriously. Like, even if it's something you haven't even like put into work yet, you have to take it super seriously, because whatever you feel within you that's like what you should be doing, that's what you should be doing, like, legit. But it's been held back. It's been held back. And being a Gemini moon, you have this versatility where you could literally like be doing two different things at once. You could be, having your high paying job while also having your art career. Like, there's this real versatility and multifacetedness that comes from it. Now, with respect to career, while I'm kind of speaking around that, you will be someone who there will be, when you start going in that real like Dharma correct direction, there will be a level of fate that plays into like that. But I do definitely see you as a leader rather than a follower. And with Neptune in the 6th, I think that creates someone who is more, who would appreciate a more entrepreneurial life than something where they're like forced to kind of be in this place and that place. I have the same placement, and I can't stand people telling me what the fuck to do and people being my boss, and it just does not work. And then this goes, to your Mars, right, in Aquarius on the descendant, being a very like someone who acts, because you think in a very deep way already, right? Your thoughts process, we'll go talk about the love stuff after. But like with the Mars there, it creates someone who is very much their own person and who beats to be their own drum. And that can definitely have, a lot of impact on career. You'll be interested and driven towards what others might find, what is unconventional, what others might find like out there and eccentric. But it's your duty to follow that inner gut and to go after what, that Aries like energy wants, to just go and just do and fuck what anyone else thinks. And that's also going to your Leo rising. Leo risings are the passionate ones. We're the ones who are able to start things in that fiery fashion and have that flair and that swag, but also follow through on them because it's fixed fire. So having that opposite your Mars will lead me into my spiel about relationships, is that there will be like this opposing energy, this kind of push and pull, this need to get past this certain, like, to balance this out, not just with like home life and outer life, which is shown with the South Node, like saying that you were like way favoring the home life and the kind of marriage and almost losing yourself in your personality to that, but also with like the whole being yourself, doing things your own way, adventurous spirit, pioneer, like the individual you, and relationships. So the Mars, on the 7th house cusp in Aquarius, one, that's going to mean, like myself, that you're going to need a lot of space in relationships. You'll need an intellectual connection with your partner. Like, you will not be able to be with someone who you can't connect with on that level. But it gets deeper. Because when I speak about space and the opposition between the Leo rising always feels like they have a special calling, and they do in this lifetime. They have a very special creative calling, and it's their duty to report to that and to make it happen regardless. So Mars on the descendant is going to give you a lot of drive to be in relationships. So that's going to go back. You see, I'm connecting all these puzzle pieces. What did I say about Libra earlier in South Node? There might be, when you're in your South Node in Libra, you can be like too relationship oriented, but you'll start to feel that because it's your South Node. There's so much been there, done that. You'll start to feel like this doesn't feel right, So the Mars in Aquarius is going to make you. It's going to kind of be difficult in that sense, but to lean into the Leo rising is to lean into your own special purpose. So finding that is important. And one way to handle it is the 7th house rules, like clients or patients or things of that nature also. So a career where that, like what I'm doing, for example, is 7th house. It's the 7th house. That could be good. But overall, you'll need to be with someone who gives you a lot of space to be yourself. Like, you cannot be held back, and there needs to be like this real like adventurousness in the relationship. And like the whole thing with Aquarius, I literally was thinking this before I even like thought about the Aquarius aspect of it. It's like, you're not responsible for anyone else's happiness, and the person that you ultimately, and you might be married, but like I still do these the same way, would be good for you is someone who doesn't need you to be happy. Like, of course, you make them happy. There's love, there's all that, but you're totally fine on your own. And they are too, you know? Codependency has to be moved away from. It has to be. God, it feels good to be back. Was it 8 days? 7? I did one reading. Besides that, I think it was like 7 or 8 days. I couldn't do a reading. I've been having some issues, but I feel good now. Just talked to Haley for like 2 hours, and at my Moon Girl readings, if we do our lives together, we might do it tomorrow, and it kind of just got me back in the mode. So, yeah, it's always that first reading back. I feel I always like. I'm always like, man, whoever that person is lucky, because I first reading back, I bring the fire every time, but I feel like it's just like I've had 7 days of just integrating like a million readings, and now I'm just like, boom. So I know you're Leo rising, so I know you can handle my fire, and it's not gonna like be too much. So Moon, no, that's not where I was heading. Mars, can also make one quite combative in relationships. It's kind of a genius energy, this Mars and Aquarius. I have this exactly. I'm not saying I'm a genius. Well, actually, technically, I am a genius. I fucking hate saying that. There's so much weird stigma around that, but I am a genius. I'm a fucking genius. Tested IQ, but like also whatever. Who gives a fuck? That shit's fucking weird. And I tested that when I was so young. Probably by now, I'm probably like 70 IQ. But yeah. Anyways, I don't know. That was weird. I don't like that I said that. I wish I could delete that. I don't like saying that to people. I feel weird. The whole reading's done. Bye bye. I'm joking. Anyways, so yeah, it does feel weird saying that. Fuck, I need to never ever say that. It just came out. So yeah, the Mars and Aquarius, it does create like kind of a genius person who thinks it like you. It's very hard to like nail down what it is that makes a Mars and Aquarius person tick. Like they're very 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 like a humanitarian. They want to give back. They want to be of service. So in relationships, it can be the same thing. Wanting to be of service in relationships, but also Mars is the planet of fighting, action, blah blah blah. So this can create someone who might be quite combative in relationships. What other aspects? Oh, damn, I was just talking about this with Haley. Mars square Pluto. Major, 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 major. In its exact degree. Oh my God, it's 0.03 separated. You're gonna die. I'm just joking. I hope you like dark humor. But no, okay. This one is very, very intense. People who have Mars square Pluto, I literally just was asking Haley. I said, do you know anyone that has Mars square Pluto? Because I was kind of, we like do a thing where like we kind of teach each other about stuff. But basically, like, it's all about this intense energy you have. And there can even be violence. Like it's like this need to be in control of your emotions. And if you're not, and it can literally like basically everyone who has this, I force you to work out. Most people who have this, they're like, yeah, I work out 3 times a day, or like, yeah, I fucking like kickbox or box or work out or run. You need that. It's not. I'm not saying like you should do it. I'm saying you have to do it. I'm forcing you if you don't already, or you like people who have this who don't like they just smoke fucking weed all day. Not all of them. There needs to be either a creative outlet or a physical outlet because there's so much energy there. Of course, there's other ways, like to kind of like meditate and stuff like that, which would also help your lack of Earth, because lack of Earth is lack of balance. And when you lack balance, you have Mars square Pluto, things can get off the rails real quick, especially as the Gemini moon. So yeah, it just makes one feel very intensely. and it can make one like very in touch with the darker side of their being and very combative. So combat sports could be an amazing thing for you. And the fact that this is like squaring your seventh house, it's showing that this would come out in relationships. And then that it's squaring your fourth house, that this could come out in family relationships. What can I say? So big need to handle that energy. Unaspected sun, or am I just blind? No. Yeah, I don't count that. Yeah. Unaspected sun. Where is Chiron? It's hiding for me. Why is it? Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, trying Chiron. Okay, so it's based. It's not. I guess it's not unaspected then. But basically, like, and it's trying Black Lilith. Um, you're made to be a healer. You know, you're made to be a healer. It will come very easily to you to heal other people, especially, you know, your wound is around communication, and around having your own voice because you are such an eccentric human, um, in the good way. I mean, ahead of your time. So probably early on in your life, you probably, you know, maybe had something with your mother, um, or, you know, with your early schooling environment that had a huge impact with you on you with your son, your third house. And you may have learned to not trust your thought process, to think that you're stupid, or to think that the way you think is off, or well, whatever, a million different combinations. Let me show the chart again while I go get a drinky drink, not alcohol. I am Muslim. I'm not actually Muslim, but I might as well be these days. Um, so hold up. So yeah, that's like really, really, really important. Like really, really, really important. Um, to understand that when there's wounds, right? When there's wounds around this very thing of speaking your truth, of the, you know, going back to the whole Aries stuff, right? About, you know, being someone who has their own back and who doesn't back down from, you know, who doesn't just like get cornered into relationships and into having to kind of like give up their own sovereignty to, you know, for all kinds of things. It's really crazy. Everything's fucking falling out like my soul. That wasn't funny. At all. Yeah, basically, yeah, big need to ground your energy. You should definitely be meditating every single day and every single second of every day. Um, being weird. I'm being crazy. I'm being crazy. But yeah, like getting in nature also with Earth, huge. But yeah, like the back to the wound, you know, like it can make you very shy in groups, and or at least like not like feel like with friends, even with your goals, you know, with your like your big goals, like feeling like I don't want to tell people about them. Like people just make fun of me when I say I want to do this or that. Like inner child kind of energy, right? Um, so yeah, like honestly, like the work is around healing that, and finding your voice, and then speaking out, and then you're able to really teach other people how they can do that. Um, you know, the Black Moon Lilith is also in the 11th house, so in Gemini, so that's literally saying that like I talked about gossiping before. Um, self-defeating behavior that can show up. That's how I look at Black Moon Lilith, and one of the ways I look at it. And you have to watch out for that. Um, watch out for being too grass is green on the other side, especially in relationships. You know, that's very, very, very important. Um, and I was gonna say about that. I just gotta download Healing Your Inner Witch. Take that for whatever the fuck you want. It just came to my brain. It's like the pause sometimes because that's when the downloads come. No, they come all the time. But yeah, so it's important. But yeah, you got to watch out for like you got to watch out for like with your goals and all that stuff. Like with how like the whole thing of, like, don't share your dreams or whatever. Like, be careful about who you tell. Like, that's very true for you. Very, very true for you. Yeah, not allowing like other people to sabotage what your goals are by their energy and their negative thoughts and stuff like that. So yeah, just like directing your that Scorpio and just like Libra's also very good with business. It's the scales, it's commerce. And Leo, like directing that Leo energy, that Libra energy, that Scorpio energy, that Aquarius energy, all into that Aries North and all into your career. That Gemini energy, just like finding something very fitting for you, right? It won't necessarily be what everyone else is doing. You know what I mean? But it will be unique to you. And that's very, very important. So, yeah. Yeah. Um, hmm, mhm, mhm. Let's see. Elemental Grand Shrine. Um, not by aspect. But yeah, overall, like the air, the qualities of air, of communicating and seeing other people's perspective and this, that, and the third, intellectual abilities, all that comes very easily to you. But like it's useless unless you can like truly ground it, unless you have a way where you can truly ground it, it's literally useless. So that's very important to know. Um, yeah, with relationships, like more stuff about that, and I'll wrap back around. Let me go back to my thoughts. Um, I hope you like the colors. Literally, it's not that color. It's so crazy what my camera does to start. Kind of. I got like a bunch of different colors that have kind of combined that in this room. I prefer this. It's very scorpionic of me. Um, so what was I gonna say? Yeah. So watching out, like literally, like with the Pluto stuff, it's like in the Mars, it's like you need to really go into your childhood and do that death rebirth transformation, inner child work, or it can really, really leak out into your relationships. That's just kind of how it is, in your childhood played a huge role. It plays a huge role in your life. And the more you can handle from it, the better off you'll be in life. Um, Now, okay, with love, Venus retrograde, which is trining Jupiter. So you'll be lucky when it comes to like who you get in terms of love. But the fact that it's retrograde means that you in a past life were too obsessed with love, basically, and you probably are in this life too. As especially as a Libra and South Node, you see how it all connects. And it's very challenging in the context of your chart, because it's like it's really like people who have Venus retrograde, sometimes their end all be all is relationships. It's like they judge their life, how good, like, how are you doing, instead of like, career, this, that, which it should, career should be a huge part of it. It can sometimes be too much on like how good the relationship is going, how well it's going in that realm. So very important stuff there. Hmm. Yeah, Pluto's so close by. But yeah, so when it comes to like connecting all the dots, right? When it comes to relationships, Gemini Moon, I already talked about that, right? It's like you need someone who is open-minded, who you can have that intellectual connection with, who's fun, who gives lots of space, and who like your curious person, and someone like the space thing is so important. And yeah, good communication with all that stuff. Especially as a Libra, you are still Libra, so you do need that peace in your relationship, right? Which that Mars on the descendant can create lots of fights there. So understand that that's an internal thing, and that can be dealt with in the ways I spoke about earlier is very important. But yeah, there'll be a huge drive to be in relationships, and but then like the highest purpose for you is to not accept anything less than exactly what I'm talking about, which is like that space, that relationships that literally like you can still do individualize in the exact same way, whether you're in it or not. I said that earlier as well, in a different way. But then like, Venus and Scorpio, obviously these people who have Venus and Scorpio, whether it's retrograde or direct, they take a very serious approach to relationships. They can be very dramatic relationships. They can be very, very like obsessive, right? So it kind of adds to that even further. 19 degrees, so that's 7th, it's a Libra degree, so that's could even add more to like that real need. But really it's like looking for a soulmate in life, not just like a marriage partner, but like the deepest level, right? Like Scorpio Venus, like they don't fuck around when it comes to love. Like they want that deep intensity, sexual intimacy at the deepest level. And without that, like two souls becoming one type energy, you can really feel like it's not worth it. So that's like very different, right? So like that there's that level there. But then like all the other stuff, like Mars and Aquarius needs tons of space. They don't want to be like, they can feel like, in the 7th house, like they can feel like they're in prison when they're in certain types of relationships. So it's a very important, a very specific type. Like really, really need to remain one-on-one with the relationships. And then when it's time to come together and have that deep bond, have that deep bond. Like no secrets, like just everything is on the table. And yeah, the Mars and Aquarius can make someone quite unpredictable. So Gemini Moon too. So yeah, it goes back to your need for the earth element in your life. Hiking. We can talk about that follow up. I don't have the list in front of me and see if you booked the follow up. I think you did. Let me check. Yes, you did. I didn't write it, but you did. And by the way, I would highly, highly suggest doing what like nearly everyone does is not just getting the follow up, getting a follow up and current astrology done at once. First hour follow up, only birth chart. Then after that, usually lasts around like 2 hours, so 3 combined, which I'll record and send to you privately. I won't post anywhere public, obviously. your whole current astrology, the current chapter, all my predictive tools, which are many, to help you understand what's going on now. That's literally new. Like I can't explain in words like how helpful that's been to people. I could say way more about it, but you can message me back. But just like trust me, like if finances aren't something that's really holding you back in that sense, like it's something you should do each year, and if you do it, you'll see why. Because these are two different types of astrology. One is the book of your life, the other one is the current chapter. It's very important to know about both. So yeah, I definitely see that potential for codependency. I think healing childhood wounds is one is the key. Going deep into the death rebirth transformation into your inner psyche. And yeah, like it's tough because like fourth house Pluto, people could have I have this too, a very volcanic early home environment, with early childhood traumas, um, and that can just get projected in the relationship. So yeah, so yeah. And then yeah, sun ruled chart also. So like the third house is very important. So yeah, like another really, really big karmic thing for you is like finding your authentic voice and learning to really speak up for yourself, which totally relates to like that Aries energy, and it's literally related to your Gemini moon. So find the highest energy of the Gemini moon, which going back to your Black Moon Lilith, it's like do some research, high versus low Gemini energy. I want you to like really, really think about that, right? I'm not going to give you all the answers. I'm going to give you that assignment. What I can say though is that one of them is very, very, I guess you could say, involved in other people's dramas, curious about the wrong things, while the other one is very intellectual and very, very curious about the right things, and open-minded, and non-judgmental, and yeah, like Gemini moons can be just very, very curious, and it's part of your karma to break through from this past like tendency. um so yeah, okay, covered that. Then you have this real psychic energy with your Jupiter. Oh no, I was talking about love. Let me backtrack a little bit before I go into that. So yeah, there's definitely a major split that definitely can be resolved between like the real depth of the Scorpio Venus retrograde, and that connecting to that need for relationships that can show up with that airiness of space, and also being an air moon. I didn't say this earlier. This is completely unrelated to what the romantic stuff. It can make you experience emotions on a very logical level where you might not trust the actual emotions. Um, so air moons, like I always give this example, like let's say you have a Cancer and air moon, and the exact same thing happens to both of them, right? Whatever the fuck it is. The air moon might not feel the repercussions until like 8 months later, while the Cancer moon will just cry in that moment, and that's that. They got through the energy. So like really, really like grounding yourself and getting in touch with your emotions is massive. It's really, really massive. And yeah, okay. So mm, so seventh house ruled by Uranus, the fifth. So yeah, you'll like I said, you'll need lots of space. You'll need probably very unconventional, like very unique type of relationship. Um, and yeah, one that combines the air quality that I've been describing with the water quality of depth and emotional like responsiveness and depth and connection. So that's the balance that's needed. And of course, communication, with Mercury there has to be, just on point. There has to be that psychic, just like on the same page energy. And they cannot, most important, take you away from your North Node Aries on the midheaven that need to shine in your dharma, in your career, in the thing you're meant to do. Very entrepreneurial, in my opinion. Very entrepreneurial. Very, very great. And all Leo risings have this leadership power to them. So, yeah. Okay, doke. And then Juno's in Sag, so you're looking for someone who is once again open-minded, open to adventure, maybe from a different culture. Vertex is there and Saturn's there, so what was Haley telling me earlier? Oh, that's funny. You literally have exactly what I have. Wait, no, you don't. What am I talking about? Sorry. I was thinking about that stuff. But yeah, so yeah, you'll definitely like come off as the adventurer, as the person who wants to do lots, that wants to learn lots, in relationships, Vertex, fifth house, but also like really like your doorway to higher awareness could be through children, could be through fun. You might have very like eccentric. I don't like that word. I wish I had a better word. Very unique in a good way, kids. You'll be very creative also. Like creativity is really like as a Leo rising, authentic self-expression, finding avenues. That's your doorway to higher awareness, spiritual higher awareness. And yeah, finding a relationship that's helpful to that is very important. But then fifth house Saturn is difficult because it can actually push like the having the kids back till after Saturn turn. It can make one kind of a party pooper sometimes. Uranus is there, which is going to push a lot of that away, and it's Sag, which rules the house that makes Jupiter rule the fifth, so that's going to push that away too. But you just don't like fucking like like the Gemini moon part of you likes it can kind of it pushes some of this away because it does make you fun, but then like you don't like just super super fucking surface level shit. Like you do want to dig deeper. So fifth house Saturn can actually block the creative process and the inner child process a little bit. So it's really important for you to dive into that, which I talked about before. Childhood stuff, super important. And with IC in Libra, you come from like your family bloodline of this tendency of people pleasing and of maybe not standing up for yourself. And I always tell my clients, you're the one who's meant to break the generational cycle, curse, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Yeah, Saturn fifth house, like a lot of times they lack fun early in life. And it can make it difficult for them to like relax and be in touch with their inner child. But a lot of times what I see with this is that they can have the tendency, fifth house Saturn people, to make their work to make what they do for fun what makes them money, which is so fucking cool, right? I have fifth house Saturn in Placidus, and I've totally done that. Like I fucking love what I'm doing right now. One sec. Yeah. So yeah, and then Saturn and Sag. I mean that just gives you like a strict moral code. And yeah, just like it can make you like a very like very optimistic and engaging when it comes to fulfilling your karmic duties. And yeah, I love Uranus in the fifth. Like just like it just gives you like very unconventional hobbies, creative pursuits. Um yeah, it can make you like really have like very entrepreneurial, like very creative schemes that just come to you that you just get. And then part of fortune's there too. So it's like, it's literally saying that like, traveling is something that I see for you. Your North Node is in the ninth house, so like you benefit a lot through physical and metaphorical travels. And you're at your flow state when you are doing that, right? When you're complete, like growing, but also when you're authentically self-creating, not creating for the views, creating for understanding yourself. Like my poetry book here, I don't show anyone that stuff. I haven't written it in a while, but like still, that's the example is Leo Rising of me, like, or the videos I make, the ones that I don't post, where I just film myself. That is what I'm talking about. Yeah, anyways, so Mercury or Jupiter in the eighth, that's a very psychic placement. Retrograde, you find knowledge within yourself. You go within yourself and you have this well of knowledge, retrograde. And Jupiter in Pisces is beautiful. It gives you like a very like optimistic, intuitive kind of energy when it comes to like finding the meaning of life. And you like to go into like the esoteric and these like kind of underground areas to delve deep into them and find truth, find spiritual truth. It makes one very spiritual and very psychic to have it in Pisces in the eighth house. It's also really, really good for benefiting from other people's money, like potential, like if it's like a marrying rich. I don't mean that in like a gold digger way. You know what I mean? Like getting lucky with your partner, or you just like some if you were like a financial FedEx stop, like a financial advisor, like benefiting from other people's resources some way somehow. But yeah, Jupiter in eighth just gives someone a flashlight. I always call it, or like a lantern in the areas of life, death, rebirth, transformation, the occult, the esoteric, the thing, sexuality, taboo areas of sexuality. There's a whole list of stuff. All these areas that a lot of people are afraid of exploring, like you have this lantern, this ability to really see it and understand it deeply, which is why I think like it's so cool. It's such a great placement with like your whole chart. It makes you very open-minded too and very compassionate, super compassionate and giving. And it gives you lots of luck with this whole like Plutonian, like death rebirth transformation thing I'm talking about that you need to go through with the inner child work. It gives you lots of luck and optimism in positive energy towards that, which is great. Okay. So yeah, I think like friends is something that we'd have to talk about in the follow-up. Organizations you're a part of, or just like also your big picture life goals. Um, and yeah, like you have a gift of gab, communication, but it's all about using, like I said, using it in the best of ability. Um, Also like making sure to listen. Sometimes like Black and Lilith and Gemini people can talk, and they like learning to listen and to really like have that fair exchange of energy is really, really important. Um, yeah, like listen and respect other people's like points of views. Um, and also like yeah, it can make like just like not being overly argumentative and like in a way that's obviously like you'll be a very good arguer um slash like debater, but like not doing it in a way that's like bad. um all right, what else, what have I not covered? I know there's some stuff. Okay, this is that, this is that. Okay, it's not many hard aspects. Talk about this. Okay, talk about all this. So Vesta in the ninth house in Aries. Basically, that makes you like very focused on like discovering the higher truths in life. And you know, it's just pushing you towards that truth, towards needing to find that truth. And you may be sidetracked by like having like fanatical belief systems. However, in the end, it's all about like you like trial and error and being able to like share, the philosophical truths that you find with the world. Um, and then yeah, Vesta in Aries just makes you very self motivated with respect to your own work. And what degree is it? It's 5. And yeah, really like entrepreneurial energy, like enjoying working by yourself, committed to independence. Um, and sometimes people who have this like can alienate the people who choose them. Take that as you will. Okay. Where are the other ones? And then you got Palace, let's talk about Sirius first. Sirius conjunct Pluto, damn. So in Scorpio, Ceres conjunct Pluto, that makes that kind of adds like to really feel cared for. You need this like, and this kind of adds to your moon sign. Haley was kind of saying how Ceres is like obviously not as important, but like it's kind of like a second moon. You really feel cared for when you have like this real intensity in your relationships, and when your loved ones like focus their full intention like in a very intense way on you, and it makes you very emotionally committed to those that are close to you. And then the fourth house, it just makes you really care for your family, your home. Um, like if you have kids, your role as parent is a huge part of your life. And it also can give like a extremely strong karmic attachment to the mother. Um, then there's Pallas, the wisdom seeker, in the third house in Libra. No surprise, conjunct the South Node. I don't really look at asteroids and nodes. But really, it's like, yeah, you can look at that. Pallas in the third, just super intelligent, eager to acquire knowledge, very good communication, things that aren't surprising, cherry on top. Um, and yeah, having like many uh ideas that are very creative and original. And the Palace in Libra is a beautiful one because it makes you able to see both sides of the story, which is the Libra, it comes natural also. And really helps you bring like opposing parties into an agreement. So it's very like diplomatic energy. So I like that. Okay. Now I talked about Juno. Another thing about Juno and Sag is like you want to have your ideal partner to have like a common um like worldview and kind of like view of reality that you have. Okay, let's look at this stuff. The stars. Let's see if there's any big stars. Come on. All right, ascendant. Ooh, Urania conjunct ascendant. Yeah, 2 degrees still. That is the asteroid of astrology. So you might be an astrologer. Be very good at things, astrology, occult, esoteric, all that. Okay, we move on. How close is this shit? Sorry, excuse my language. No, I already saw speak. It wasn't really there. Um. Oh, okay. You have Zumanel Shalami conjunct Venus. That's very, very good for alchemy. And how the fuck do I spell qua o-r? I can never fucking spell that one. So alchemy and writing can be things that are very, very, and Mercury's there too. So, you like, I already talked about you being a gifted communicator. So you could be a writer or a speaker or something like that. And Quar, let's see, how close is it? It's right in your Venus, so it relates, and it's right in between your Venus and your Mercury, so it's very, very linked to like indigo children. And just that advanced energy. Um, oh, but then you have Serpentis on your Venus. Oh God, my poor. No, on your Mercury, thank God. Oh, thank God. But how bad is that one? Not bad. I think I think my guess, I'm looking it up, is that Serpentis, which is known as one of the, it's like Algol and Serpentis are like probably the two most difficult asteroids, to my knowledge. Let's see. But like at the end of the day, they're not actually bad. And it's good that you have Juno or Venus conjunct it. Mercury just says this oh, these are all fucking old shit. Um just like watch out for lying, basically. That's what I'll say. Um, but the other, and being overly controversial, but having War, which how close is it? There or Quar, it gives you tons of intuitive abilities and psychic abilities. So Indigo Child, perhaps, and let's see if I can find anything else. Oh, come on. Yeah, I mean, I've seen it a lot. Um, I'm looking for this one freaking. Here it is, I think. Yeah, so it's all about like out of the box creativity also. Um, and it can mark a genius because it's like Steve Jobs had it on his son, Paul McCartney on his ascendant, Ali on his Mars. So you have it, right in between your Mercury and your Venus. It's at 2006, so it's right next to your Venus, and it's uh, a degree and a half away from your Mercury. But still, it can make you like a creative genius, artistic genius. Let's see. Let's see if it has any big aspects. Nope. No hard aspects, at least. Any positive ones? No. I never spend so much time on Quar. Nothing. But yeah, super big, super important, super awesome, super great. Okay. So, okay. Saturn is not conjunct. It's kind of close. And it's kind of close. Antares, one of the real stars, but Saturn. I don't know if I want to tell you this one. This one might be. I'm not sure how this one will be. Let's see what it says. But it's like, what orb does it give? It's just probably 240, right? You're like right outside of it. I think it's 7, 12, and 7. I guess it's technically an orb according to what they say here. And Saturn and Antares. Remember, this isn't going to be so strong. It's still, like barely in. Materialistic, dishonest through circumstances created by the environment, religious hypocrisy, many disappointments, loss through perils and legal affairs, trouble through enemies, many failures, hampered by relatives, unfavorable for domestic matters, much sickness to and sorrow from children. If at the same time the moon is with Aldebaran, which it is not. It's so close. But it's not. It's at 5. Danger of death by sword or hanging. So thank God you're born like when you're born, not like you know, a day. No, I guess it wouldn't. No, a day. No, it wouldn't matter. Just thank God that your moon is not in on that. And that these are like all such old definitions. It's like whatever with the last part. Okay, I see that. I see that. I see that. I see that. Ooh, damn. That is a very sexy, sexy, sexy thing. Eros conjunct Mars. So Eros obviously is about eroticism, and Mars is about action. So when you put them together, what do you think you get? And let me look some stuff up. But I already know the answer, but I like to see other people's additions. Obviously very sexual. And so okay. When Eros is conjunct Mars, it may be difficult to distinguish between force of will and erotic desire. The need to assert and affirm our existence may be entwined with the need to merge and transform with the other. It can create great confusion. As soon as Mars is awakened, there is a drive towards distinction and individuality. So it will awaken as well with an antithetical need to merge and blend and be transformed. Yeah. So I just think it's like very, very, very sexual energy. Yeah. And also like quite romantic and stuff of that nature. Yeah. And Mars and Aquarius, like, we're weird. Like, I feel like we're either like 100 sexuality or like 0. Like, we can be like asexual at times, but you have other aspects in your chart like that will not be like that. But maybe, air sometimes can be very like in the air, less with the senses, And with the earth that you lack, it's about very important. Like start gardening, like do things that where you're touching the earth, where you're slowing down. I do sense the genius energy. Okay. That doesn't matter. Oh shit. No, that's not it. Okay, and I don't expect to see anything else because we already had that one there. But I do. Oh my God, Haley talks about this one. I need to go on her page. Hold on. Okay, where is her Fortuna post? Oh, White Moon Selena, she talks about too. That you have in the sixth in Cap. She says the exalted expression of your soul can emanate qualities such as being ambitious, self-disciplined, patient, and sincere. Your ability to take initiative over your own life, to do the honorable thing in life's situations, and be a rock/pillar of light for those you care about is a big part of your overall light that inspires others. Interesting. Okay. So I was looking at Fortuna. Oh, was that? Okay, no. Oh, do I have Karma in here? Hold on. I need to look at something. I have like a list of Astros and fixed stars. Um, okay, Karma. I don't think it's in here. No, it is. Okay. Um, okay. Oh shit! I added that shit twice. But yeah, basically, like, and you also have Hades conjunct your moon. Ooh, so that is interesting, and that combined with Fortuna, which um I don't know shit about. I'm trying to find a post. Let me concentrate for a second. I know it's here somewhere. Maybe she didn't do it yet. I don't see it. But yeah, basically, like from what I know about it, having this combination around your moon is on one end like being really, really in touch with like the darker sides of reality, which goes back to like, the Scorpio part I was talking about. Um, on the other hand, it is, about, Fortuna. Fuck, what was she saying? No, not part of fortune. It's so hard to find information about this stuff. Okay, here's a quote. It shows us how we view good luck and fate in general, our approach to luck. It is the personality of our luck. So it's all about luck. So it's where we may experience highs and lows of abundance. Interesting. She reminds us that when we are at our lowest, the only way is up. By the same token, she also reminds us that to enjoy the peaks in our lives because summer is not eternal. So Fortuna is very much about up and down, and attitude towards money, fate, and luck. And yours is air. It's intellectual, logical, and analytical. You may need to tune into your intuition. Okay, I'll take that until I can learn. Oh, here, I just found it. Yes. Yo, I just found a quote about the moon. With the moon, popular, broad-minded, great power, honor, and wealth, but benefits may prove not lasting, danger of violence, sickness, drowning, or assassination. Don't worry about the last part. Literally, like, they have these in like every single fucking one where it's like you will lose 10 cows or you will, like get your head chopped off. And it's like, no, this is written like thousands of years ago. Yeah, so it's all about like, yeah, like the wheel of fortune card in the tarot and the expression what goes around comes around. So yeah, I've gone really deep in asteroids in this reading. So finally, okay, nothing there. And yeah, that is it. So thank you so much. Let me know about getting both of those readings done. I like you already had the follow-up paid for, but yeah, let me know about getting the current done too. This is amazing. First one back always feels like a firestorm, and I hope you enjoyed. Ciao.